what larger lessons does Chernobyl hold for uh, political leaders and decision makers?
Well, one of the criticisms by the critics of the series is that, well, this just shows that it was not only an anti-nuclear movie, but it was an anti-Soviet movie. And there's something to it being anti-Soviet. I mean, there's a lot not to like about these characters who, cite the need to follow the revolutionary zeal and ignore clear signals of safety problems. However, I think the real takeaway isn't that, well, the Soviet Union caused the accident or failed to deal with it properly. I think that's wrong. I think the bigger point, unwittingly perhaps made by the producers, is that any political system might not be up to dealing with the kinds of problems a major nuclear accident can produce. And if that's the case, the political takeaway is that the reason all regimes have to be worried about this, not just the Soviet regime, which partially collapsed because of the lack of political support after, they denied that there was a problem, and the public said, well, the hell with communism if it can't even deal with, public safety. Certainly the Chinese have looked at this, I know from talking to them privately, and they're worried that if there is a big accident in China, they might be under threat of legitimacy politically. And certainly in Japan, the government fell. Now, it wasn't just because of the reactor problems of Fukushima, but the government that pushes these projects is heavily implicated when there's an accident, much more so than, let's say, a private company's failure, like an airplane crash. It doesn't really affect the government the same way. So beware. I mean, if the government gets heavily involved in this, it takes on the liability when there's an accident politically.